It's Monday evening again, and Monday evening in this year means some more action of the redline racing community. Welcome, all you F1 fans out there, for round 5 of 22, and we are in Sochi, Russia here tonight. I am Zeb Bauer. Glad you're with us for this next race in our Redline Racing community. Like always, first a little impression how and what we race. We will see a 80-minute qualifying followed by a 50% race. That should be something around approximately 25 laps. Sochi is the fourth longest track in the whole calendar, and so the fourth fewest amount of laps in the race. Equal car performances, safety car and VSC, full damage, dynamic weather. This can sometimes be a topic to watch. Strict corner cutting, that will definitely be something we have to have an eye on, because we just came out of the free community practice, and yeah, I was having a look at some of the laps from our guys, and it felt like, I don't know, every second or third lap was invalid. So there is a lot of space to corner cut and especially to exceed track limits, and that will be a topic for the race, in meaning of penalties and the qualifying, of course, for wasted hot laps maybe. Then full rules and flags, of course, manual race start, short look at the assists. The anti-lock brakes are on, medium traction control and pit assists both are off, so you have to manually start after the tire change. Likewise, you have to watch your velocity when coming into the pits, but that will, I suppose, not be the biggest issue, because it's rather easier to just lose the whole pit entry. And yep, this is the track, the Sochi Autodrome, 5.8 kilometers of length and 80 turns. Track difficulty is set to easy. The track isn't the most difficult one, that's maybe true, but as mentioned, the track limits will be a topic to watch. So there is a bit of chatter in the background going on. Let's have a short look about that, and I'll try to help to clean things up. Yeah, we still have a bit of time, and a few drivers are still waiting for their invites. We should have a full grid tonight. The lobby says it's 18 right now, so I will step aside for a moment, try to help out in getting things cleaned up, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. And off we go to Sochi on the Black Sea. You can see the water in the background, and yeah, pretty beautiful pictures here from the track. The city has been the hoster of the 2014 Winter Olympics, and just a few months afterwards, the Sochi Autodrome, the track, was built within or around the Sochi Winter Olympics buildings. You can see the ice hockey arena here. And yes, first look goes out to the weather always, of course. Oh yeah, and it looks like fair weather, some blue sky, so everything's quite okay, I would like to say, on the weather end. We have 19 drivers now in, so sadly one of our drivers was unable to join, but okay, that can happen. That can happen if it's 19 or 20, not a big difference. It's just important that we have a more or less full grid, a lot of participants. That's a nice thing for us. So, who was the first one to leave the pits? It was, I think, Turamba. Yes, he's already in the intermediate sector. And yeah, just like always, some little tradition of me, you could say. I always stay with the first guy who goes out on his first hot lap, his first out lap. And yeah, I will stay with this first guy on the TV pod on his shoulder, so to say, to just stay with him and get you a bit of impression about the track. So we are here already in the last sector, some more or less narrow turns, slow and technical, a lot of 90-degree turns as you can see here, and just two right-handers left, and then Turamba will start his first hot lap. Here we go, timing line is already behind us. You can see the amusement park here on the left-hand side. Turamba trying to take this turn one as farthest to the inside as possible. Sector 1, this is turn 2, very easy to throw the time away here, and a long right-hander around this circle in the medium. This is the end of sector 1 after this turn. Thus far everything went rather cleanly for him in his Haas. Sector 2 then some medium fast turns, and here we go. His time is invalid. Didn't I mention it? Didn't I say so? We will see this a lot of times, very often in this qualifying. And in case there is any driver here listening to me, I would recommend to just put in one safety time, one low risk time that is maybe not 100% competitive, but at least you have set a time, and this could cause maybe a bit of troubles. It's still early, we still have a lot of time, and hoo-hoo, he almost missed the pit entry. Yeah, so this was the first invalid lap of Turamba. Let's have a look at someone who is on a hot lap. This is maybe Super Steve. Here in the intermediate sector, no comparison yet possible, of course, as he didn't have a time yet. This is the second DRS zone. It's actually not a straight but a long bow. Very difficult braking point here as the car is a bit unstable, especially with DRS opened up, so we might see a lot of issues in this turn in the race then. And Super Steve's first time will be a 1:32.8, not a bad time. He is around 3 seconds faster than the real life lap record, but still he is already 1.5 seconds slower than Pim. Pim, who by the way is one of our reserve drivers, that's something like a bit of the topic of the day, at least one of the topics of today, because Pim and where is he? Puppy 101077 in 18 right now. Those two guys are reserving in the Racing Point, and there is our monster Andrew Mond, who is in 6th right now. He is replacing Stefan Williams in the Williams. So, and I have meanwhile figured out who's the 20s guy who is missing today. That's Peter Simpson by the name of Simo. I hope that he might be able to join us a little bit later, as he actually ruled a thumbs up in the group to be active for tonight. But okay, let's focus on what is going on here at the moment. One interesting thing in P4, Lewis Hamilton has posted his first hot lap on mediums, and that was already quite a good time. No pole setter time, of course, but he's faster than a few guys on softs. While we see now the pole setter being Jonathan Cox, with a 1:30.6, and so he is over 5 seconds faster than the real life lap record, just followed barely behind by our gaming video content creator slash influencer Ninja Penguino. Welcome to you, Mr. Penguin. Let's have a look at someone who is running on a hot lap. Maybe Turamba is doing better this time. Minimap is not yet red, so that means he did not invalidate his time thus far. 3 turns missing. Now it's only 2 turns missing for him. And then we will see where his first hot lap will bring him to. Wow, P1 pole position for Turamba. Congratulations. That's quite some time. 3 times faster than Cox and the Penguin. Let's have a look at someone else on a hot lap. Maybe let's jump into the cockpit of Bro Give Up, who is back here today, was inactive last week. Now the second, or rather first, Williams driver is active again. He's actually ruled the first Williams driver, but with a teammate that is named Williams, the new owner of the Williams team. He maybe is now sitting in the second Williams. Let's stay with him. It looks a little bit cautious here on this, in these turns. And yes, invalid. There it is. Turn 17. Just shortly before finishing the lap. He is still without a time. Big Maka here in the picture did just start his hot lap. Yeah, we have still 8 minutes left, so halfway through the qualifying. What's going on in the Formula 1 world overall? Today was the day where Lewis Hamilton / Mercedes announced that they will stick together for one more year. And yesterday we heard the news that Nikita Mazepin is not allowed to be called a Russian driver in the next year, while we see Big Maka corner cutting and invalidating his lap time. So let's jump to someone who is on a hot lap. Right behind him, his teammate Sam Wise. Yes, Nikita Mazepin will not be allowed to call himself a Russian Formula 1 driver in case he should win a race. Yeah, okay, I know, but in case he should win a race, he would not be allowed to listen to his national anthem. Likewise, the Russian Grand Prix is not allowed to be called Russian Grand Prix. Before the Russian Grand Prix, there will not be the Russian national anthem, while Sam Wise has invalidated his lap time too. So let's jump to Zotson Pat, who is invalid too. So let's have a look at Ned Craig, who is invalid too. Ah, okay. So how can I finish the Russian topic? Yeah, the Russian sports in general received a penalty for not obeying to drug abusive and steroids issues from totally different athletes and sports, but still it goes out to any Russian athlete. And so for the year of 2021 and 22, Nikita Mazepin is not a officially Russian driver, and ironically we run on the Russian racing track here on this Monday. Isn't life ironic sometimes? So while I have been updating you a bit what's going on in the racing world, we see Cox invalid, Penguino on an in-lap, Pim back to the pits. What's Blake Gary doing? Nothing likewise. Super Steve maybe on his way back to the pits. Fatih, have a look, Fatih is improving. He's in P11, still or again running on mediums. Our reigning champion at the end of sector 2. He's improving by 1.5 tenths. That's really good, but with 3 seconds of gap behind Turamba, that will only bring him to maybe 4th or 5th, somewhere around Pim or Hamilton. Let's see where the time will stop for him. And he is 6, lost 2 tenths in the last sector. 6th is rather good for mediums, but still not competitive. And I can tell you, as a result from our practice we just had, tire consumption, tire degradation is actually not a topic for Russia. If you can remember the first race in 2014, Pirelli brought a lot too hard compounds to this track, and everyone was more or less able to run through on just one set from the start till the end. And still the softs do not degrade too much, so if we take into account that there will be maybe 1 or even 2 safety car phases where you can save your tires a bit, I wouldn't be surprised if the majority will try a one-stop race and maybe even running from red to yellow. We will see. And we will see. We do see a new pole setter time from the old pole setter. That's Turamba pushing the limit under the 130 mark. 129.8 from our Haas driver. Wow, that is a statement. Fatih on his way back to the pits. It will be very close for him, speaking about times, to get fresh tires and go out again to start another hot lap. We are in the last 30 minutes. Turamba is already finished. He is the pole setter for the moment and will be unable to run again. Let's have a look. What is our McLaren guy from Belgium doing? Jarne van der Bril, whose teammate is sadly still missing and probably will not return or will not show up tonight, I'm afraid. Jarne van der Bril at the end of Sector 2, improving himself by 2/10. That's good, but just not enough to really push forward. Would just be able to push ahead from Fatih and maybe Hamilton. And then the last turn for him. Van der Bril in 5th. 1.8 seconds behind Turamba. Van der Bril maximally in P5. He is finished. The time will not allow him to run again. So we still see Turamba in the pits. He will not be able to run again, I suppose. Johnny Cox on an outlap. Ninja Penguino on an outlap. What is Pim doing? Improving himself by 2.5 tenths in the first sector. Let's stay with him for the moment and then have a look at Penguin and Cox. Bit of yellow checking in, checking out. That's just drivers freeing the racing line. And Pim is improving himself. He found half a second. Half a second. That would bring him nowhere. That would improve his time, but he will stay in 4th while we see a +5 grid penalty for Bro give up, and he has invalidated. Pim's lap time is invalid. Pim is finished for the quali, and Kaltel has pushed into 6. Yeah, damaged front wing. Interesting. Fatih is in 8th. He will stay there. Let's have a look what the Penguin and Johnny Cox are doing. Penguin is the first one on the hot lap. He needs to find 8/10 if he wants to push ahead for the pole. Where will the time stop? At the end of Sector 1 for the Penguin. He found a little bit of time and the lap time is invalid. Red color on the minimap. Penguin is finished. And what does Johnny Cox doing just behind him at the end of Sector 1 here? Johnny Cox found a little bit of time. 2.3 his improvement. That is a good start, but he needs to go on like that. Here in the intermediate sector, and he invalidated too. It's done. It is finished. It is over. Congratulations to Turamba in the pole. The only one who managed to push the limit under the 1.5 minute mark. Who else is maybe still on an improving lap? Let's have a look. Hamilton. Oh, he is wheel to wheel here. Ah, damn it. Camera jumped away, and this is sad. This is sad. Hamilton was on a good lap, and then the Renault of, I didn't see it, I think it was Big Maka came in his way. Big Mucker, of course, he was on a hot lap. He is allowed to run his pace. Where will the time bring him in the end? Haha, he will stay in 18th. Oh oh. Oh oh, yes, he is allowed to run his pace if he is on a hot lap. He did not impede. But still, it was sad for both in the end, of course. Because I suppose his lap was ruined too. And we see Zotzonpat, who was in the end really unable to post a hot lap time. All of his hot laps were deleted and are invalid. So we are finished for our qualifying. Congratulations to a really hot lap for Turamba, and we will proceed in just a moment. So here's the final result. Turamba, the pole setter, then Johnny Cox in second, Ninja Penguino third, Pim in fourth, Jarne Vanderbril, well done, P5, P6 goes to Kyle Turl, 7 Lewis Hamilton, 8 Fati, both of them on mediums. Then in 9th, Bro Give Up, plus 5 grid penalty. In 10th, Blake Gary, 11. From here on, the guys have free choice of tire. Is Grimo, 12 Supersty, 13 Tirash, 14 Sam Wise, 15 Netcrack, 16 Puppy, 17 The Monster, 18 Big Maka, and in P19, without a time set, Zotzonpat. As you can imagine, there is a bit of background chatter going on now for this incident, maybe let's call it that way, between Big Maka and... Who was the second one? Already forgot it, I'm sorry. But anyway, we are here in the pit lane for the race. Weather looks kind of fair and sunny, slightly cloudy maybe again. And all of our drivers have 30 seconds and a bit more maybe, yeah, exactly 30 seconds now to change some minor things about their setup, and I will be with you in just a moment. So here we are in our installation lap, 27 laps of racing action we will see afterwards. And yes, first things first, let's get in some information that we will need. First look always goes out to the tires that I used. We see Hamilton and Fati in the mediums that they had to use because of the quali rules. And behind them in Tirash in 12th, mediums, Monster in 17, and Zotzonpat mediums in 19. The rest of the grid is actually just 2, 3, 5 drivers, just 1/4 of the grid who has opted to try their luck on mediums. As I mentioned, I suppose that tire degradation will not be a big issue here today. Turamba is rather rushing through the installation lap. He is very far alone there. And one thing I didn't mention yet is, and very important of course, that's our overall standings. We have just started the season, just the 5th race, and so everything is still very close. And Turamba, by the way, is not only the leader in our installation lab, he is likewise the leader of our overall standings with 69 points, just 3 points behind him, the reigning champion, while we see the tire strategy that is a one-stop strategy, yes. Fatih in second, 3 points behind Turamba. 7 points behind Turamba is Lewis Hamilton, and then 13 points behind him Johnny Cox in fourth. And our gaming influencer Ninja Penguino is sitting in ninth right now with 37 points of gap to Turamba. But one specialty about Monday Night Racing in the RRC is that every driver gets points granted who sees the checkered flag. Everyone who goes through the race will be given points. And so this is the start of our Russian Grand Prix. 5 lights are out. Here we go. Oh, good start from the Ferrari. Johnny Cox already ahead. Turamba lost a lot of positions. He had a bad start. And in the background, we see already some debris flying in the background. And crash in turn 1. And we see a safety car. Early safety car already. Just in the second turn is the safety car. Yeah, what are these guys doing now? Who is allowed to overtake? Who is sitting on which position? It's very interesting. What's going on here? We see one Alpha Tauri losing a lot of positions. That should be the Penguin. Ooh, and a lot of penalties already. I expected a bunch of penalties, but I did not expect that the half of the field is already penalized after just 2 turns. So let's have a look at the penalties as we have already a bit of time here now in the safety car phase. Haha, Kaltal already plus 10. A bunch of plus 5s for Turamba, Ninja Penguino, Hamilton, Gary, Fatih, Superstea, Sam Wise, Tirash, Satsanpat, and Bro give up. I have no idea what happened there. Probably because of collisions, but no one has DNF'd, so that you cannot really call it a collision. Just some touches and maybe a bit of nose damage. We will see that now. We will see now who has some nose damage, who will enter the pit lane. There is a Red Bull. This is, Kaltor. He will probably serve his penalty here. Then Fatih, Superstea, Tirash, Grimo, Bro give up, Matt Craig. A lot of drivers in the pit serving the penalties, and who knows for Tirash. Bro give up's already finished, Fatih's finished, Nat Craig, Nuno's. Didn't see if Superstea needed a Nuno's too, just a bit of unsafe release, but okay. That's what ghosting is there for. So, back to racing action. Table is updating itself. I think that Johnny Cox is the leader. Yes, he is. Number 1 behind Bernd Mailänder. So, speaking about the loser and winners of this starting situation. Grimo is not the leader. That's a glitch from the game. He will be ranked back to his position as soon as he runs over the next interval. Yep, it happened. So, Johnny Cox, the leader, pushed ahead of Turamba. We have seen that very quickly, that Turamba had a bad start. He lost even more than just 2 positions. Cox and Pim pushing ahead of Turamba. Then Jarne Vandebril made up 1 position. Penguino lost 2. We saw Penguin running wide in this long left-hander, but the game ruled him to be 5th. He was able to stay in P5. That means he lost just 2 positions. Big winner of the situation, of course, Johnny Cox pushing for the lead. Likewise to Papi +7, Satsanpart +9 coming from last position already in the midfields. Big Maka and Andrew Mond already a few pluses too. Yeah, and everyone else is the big loser, so -7 for Cartel, -6 for Fatih. Uiuiui, that's... Fatih already had not the best qualifying and then losing a lot of positions right afterwards. Let's have a look about the tires that are used. Fatih, Fatih qualified on mediums to run longer, and the first thing he had to do is getting himself a new nose and fresh softs. So all his qualifying sacrifices are just wiped out within, yeah, 2 or 3 turns actually. Then who is... Yeah, Cartel is running on hards. That is interesting, because I mentioned that tire degradation is not a topic here in Sochi, so he will lose time. He will be probably a bit slower, especially compared to Fatih behind him, who's on fresh softs. Oh, what happened there? What's going on with Ninja Penguino? What's going on with him? He lost positions, he got a penalty, and I think his nose is damaged. It is, and it's damaged big time. Oh. Penguino, not a good start to his race either. I suppose he warmed up his tires a bit too much and crashed into the walls. I will watch his Facebook stream afterwards. He always streams his races, so yeah. Sadly there is no replay option on live streams, but I can just recommend watching his Facebook site, as he always streams his games. So Cartel has piled up another penalty. Penguino received a penalty too for some kind of a crash. If we have already so many penalties right now, we will drown in penalties at the end of the race. And Johnny Cox has picked up the pace. That means we will be back to racing action right now. Back to green condition. Cox has already crawled away from Pim and Penguino. Another penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Jarne Vandebril, Cartel in the pits again. What happened there? There had to be some kind of serious troubles and, yeah, touches and damages behind the safety car. Come on, guys. I know it's hard to run slow, but do you really have to crash behind safety car? Come on. So Fatih on his mission through the field. He is already in 10th here. Has jumped ahead of Andrew Mond. He has fresh softs, where we see a Mercedes running wide there. That was Super Steve. Fatih on his softs will be faster than everyone around, and he has to be, because of the additional pit stop he will need to do. So he has to make his soft tires work. Right, the next attack on the inside against Big Maka, and this seemed very easy for him. No DRS, of course. We will have to wait one more lap after the safety car, and he is already close to Papi again. Oh, yellow in sector 3. That was Tirash who lost some positions. Oh, maybe Gary. Oh yes, Gary. There was a front wing laying on the ground. Probably him. His. Not his. He goes through, and Tirash has quitted. Tirash has DNF'd. It was a front wing of Tirash, and he thinks it's not worth to continue. That's a bit sad, because I mentioned everyone gets points granted no matter where you finish, and Tirash is the first one that will not be given points at the end. So let's have a look what's going on. What is going on? Here we are back in the lead of Johnny Cox, 1.3 seconds ahead of Pim. Right now it seems like a very easy cruising home victory, but we have still 22.5 laps left and the walls are very close. This track always reminds me of Valencia. And here is some attack going on from Grimo against Andrew Mont. The two mainstream racing series drivers battling it out for 10th, and he is already attacking the next one, Big Macca. Oh, Big Macca is in troubles. He has some kind of problems and will be attacked soon again, either from Super Steve or from Nat Craig. DRS is enabled in this lap. Oh, bit of corner cutting from Nat Craig. This has to be a warning. So Nat Craig is one of the next who will be penalized, I suppose. And ahead we've seen an attack from Turamba against Hamilton. This has been a DRS attack. Hamilton on the slower medium tire now chasing Turamba, trying to stay close. Big Macca and Monster both get penalized. And we spoke about Big Macca, and he is close again, or slash still, on Andrew Mont. Just showing himself in the rearview mirror, causing himself to get a penalty, but Monster had to run wide. And no attack here. Not yet, but Super Steve coming from behind. Super Steve wheel to wheel, and Super Steve got him. He got him, and Nat Craig is the next one. Ooh, the Big Mac is losing a lot of positions here. And right, the next attack from Bro give up on his mediums against Big Mac. Oh, Big Mac has run wide and crashed into the barrier. Yep. Doesn't look too good for him. Damaged front wing after he already seemed to have some intense troubles to keep his car on the road, and he will return to the pits and maybe even retire here. We will see. No, he does not. Doch, yeah, he did. Big Macca is out. He is finished for today. Second one to DNF, or actually officially the first one to DNF. And he will be overtaken into last position then in half a minute. Let's have a look where some action is going on. We are here with Super Steve, who is close to Andrew Mont. Monster is running wide again. Attack on the inside here. Ooh, that was a harsh maneuver, but still a good one, pushing ahead for 10th position. And Nat Craig on his soft tires is close too. So here in the midfield is a lot of action going on. The lead is more or less, yeah, given. 2.7 seconds of gap from Cox to Pim. And Monster counter attack. Nope. No. Oh, not yet. Maybe. Let's jump ahead as Turamba is pushing against Pim right here on the outside and cruising by him in the DRS zone. The pole setter into P2. And he's likewise our overall standings leader, so a bunch of points to stay ahead in the lead. One of his contenders is Fatih, who is right now under pressure from Sam Weiss from behind. Fatih, who was already in the bottom of the field, almost in last position, has crawled up again into P5. That is quite a good result for him. Uh-oh, Wise is running wide here. Shouldn't do that too often. Yeah, it's actually no pressure from Wise on Fatih. Fatih is really running away from him. So let's have a look back into our midfield battles. Here we see Super Steve, who is coming closer to Mark Goodman by the name of Grimo. Two medium runners, both will have to stop again. Turamba in second, new fastest lap of the race. Turamba right now seems he is faster than Johnny Cox. He has cut into his lead. Just 1.9 seconds of lead from Cox anymore. We saw a little bit of yellow behind Super C, but no bigger issue. Super C had some acceleration troubles there in the last turn, and therefore Grimo pulled away slightly, so that could save him for another lap or two. Behind those, here we see Blake Gary, who is in the DRS window behind Ned Craig. Oh, and Carl Toll is out. Let's see if we can have a look at that again somewhere. He crashed at the exit of the last turn. Let's see if Tirash, our ghost, can reach that fast enough. No, he can't. So right here on the right hand side was a crashed Red Bull, but already vanished. Track marshals got rid of his wrecked car, no safety car needed. And we are back into some midfield battles. Either Blake Gary against Ned Craig, or Super Steve against Grimo, just 2 positions ahead. Gary able to get closer in the DRS zone on Craig. And Sam Wise, the next one to pit. Sam Wise in 8th now, will lose a few positions. Blake Gary, more or less clean acceleration. Still, Ned Craig seems a little bit far away. If he wants to attack him at the end of this DRS zone. Nope, did not work. And ahead. Did not work either for Super Steve. And just a few positions further ahead, we see Turamba, who is now in the DRS window of Johnny Cox. The Haas is split on his rear wing and he zooms ahead. He has crawled up a lot of tenths in the last few laps. He is the real faster one compared to Johnny Cox. So Turamba shows us why he was the pole setter, and both are into the pits. Cox and Turamba both enter the pits here. They have, I think, no equal penalty seconds. Okay. And let's see which pit crew is working faster. Johnny Cox will receive fresh mediums. Turamba on his Haas, yeah, he needs to serve a penalty here, so then he will be behind Johnny Cox a few seconds again. Even Pim slipped through again. So Turamba is monstrously fast, but still having piled up a bunch of penalty seconds. And he is now multiple seconds behind Johnny Cox, and even more important, there are 6 drivers between him and Cox now. Funny, isn't it? Or interesting. They were within 1 second when they entered the pit lane, and now they are 6 positions ahead, or a part of each other. So Turamba will cut through the field again, and this one worked very easy against that Greg. Yeah, we still have just 3 drivers left that are without a penalty, but from these 3, Tirash, one of them is ghosted, so it's actually just 2 active drivers. That's Pim and Fatih, who are still without a penalty. Yellow in sector 3. Somewhere behind. This is it. Who is it? Grimo is it? Grimo lost his car at the end of the DRS zone. I mentioned it in the qualifying. The car is very light there, especially on the rear wing side if you have your DRS opened. Well, yeah. Grimo now stops for fresh tires and fresh nose. So not the biggest problem, as he was more or less close to the pit entry and he had to stop once again anyway. So of course it's not cool to damage your nose, but wasn't the worst situation for him. Fresh nose, fresh mediums, and he will finish his race on this set, I would like to suppose. 15 laps plus this to go. And we have a fight for the lead. This is Fatih pushing ahead in the DS zone against Lewis Hamilton, but it's not over yet. This is not over yet. Hamilton still fighting. Fatih will probably pit right now. Oh, Fatih needs to turn right here if he wants to pit. He does not. He does not. But Fatih will have to pit sooner or later, so it's maybe not the best idea for Hamilton to lose a lot of time while fighting him, as he will probably stay on his mediums a bit longer afterwards. Now he's in the DRS zone, counter-attack, nope, no counter-attack. At the end of this DRS zone, Fatih 10 laps on his softs, he will have to pit soon, I would like to suppose. What's going on behind? Turamba is ahead of Super C. Turamba who lost positions on the start after great quali and moved up into P2 again. Then now he lost a lot of positions again and will have to move up again. I suppose that a race victory is not possible for him anymore, at least as things stand right now. But he should still be in a possible podium position, but therefore he needs to contain his penalties. Let's have a look at the situation at the moment. He has a +8. We see Zotson Pat, Ninja Penguino is the high scorer. 18 seconds. I am looking forward to watch your race afterwards. +18 for the Penguin, +16 for Zotson Pat, +15 for Andrew Mont, +11 for Samwise. Just as expected. We will see more penalty seconds than points being granted here in this race. But okay. Let's focus what's going on. Fatih did not stop again. Still running one more lap on his 11 laps old softs. What else is going on? Puppy lost the position here against Ned Craig. Oh, bit of slide here at the end. And Penguino is close. Our Alpha Tauri Penguin. Puppy is sliding a lot ahead too, but he has fresh mediums, so he should have maximum grip. And better turn here for Penguin, and easily cruising by Netcrack on the acceleration, both being DRS equipped, so is no advantage for anyone, while Penguin is pushing ahead for Puppy. Not yet. Puppy running wide through turn 1. Penguin is already 9 laps running on his hards. I'm not sure if he can go through the race on this set. We will see, we will see. Puppy running wide again, so the Puppy should have had a little bit of practice sessions. And Penguin in 11. Just ahead, let's have a look ahead. In 5th, Pim, who's gonna attack the other AlphaTauri soon. Maybe already in the upcoming DRS zone. He's very close to Sotsanpat, and BWT is split, and he just cruises by him easily. Yeah, no chance to defend for Sotsanpat. And behind them is already Turamba, the one I mentioned, who has to cut through the field again and again. Oh, and Penguin is out. The Penguin is out. Oh no, what happened? What happened? Sadly didn't catch it. Sadly did not catch where he DNF'd. Maybe he's in the pit lane. His blue colored dot is at least very close to the pit lane. Yeah, his dot is still moving, but he decided to return to his pits and end his race. Yeah, well, that's sad. That's sad. No long video and stream I can rewatch from you. That's very sad, but I hope you will come back stronger next week. So, where is racing action going on? Luckily we have not seen another safety car phase. I hope it will stay that way. Here we are on board with Netcrack, close to Puppy, who we saw sliding so much earlier, and it seems like Netcrack will just cruise by Puppy too very soon. Fatih meanwhile stopped. Aha, interesting. He stopped for softs again. He started his race on mediums, so it is legal to run through on 2 sets of softs afterwards. He had to stop, he had to pit right in lap 1, so he used a different compound 1 lap of the race. Yes, he did. And that's the reason why he was running on softs so long. He wanted to make them go as long as possible, and now finish the race on a second set of softs. We will look ahead on Turamba here again, who is attacking Pim. Not now, but soon. Two right-handers left, and then the next DRS zone upcoming. And he's ahead very easily, very easily. I was focusing on some background issues and didn't expect the attack so early. Turamba back in P3 and back on the podium. 6 seconds behind Johnny Cox, who is 7 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton. But I doubt that Hamilton will be able to go through on this set of mediums. 11 laps left to go, so His mediums would be 27 laps old. It's actually still the starting tire. Is it possible for Hamilton? So Johnny Cox will be the leader as soon as Hamilton has pitted, and then will more or less easily win the race again. So back-to-back wins upcoming for Johnny Cox, if, I say if, he doesn't throw away his car somewhere into these very close walls, as you can see. Ah, and there is a pit stop already, just when I mentioned it. I jinxed it maybe a little bit. Hamilton in the pits, and Johnny Cox, our new and old leader. So let's have a look. Where is some action going on? Sotsanpat is close to Bro Give Up and maybe attacking him soon. Not in this DRS zone. Now he does. Now he does. Surprise attack on the acceleration. Oh, Bro Give Up is still there. He's still there. And now he has lost his car. That's sad. Bit of too aggressive defending. Does he need a new nose? No, he doesn't. Yeah, well, he... maybe he does, but he refused to enter the pit lane there. He'll probably try how good his aerodynamics still is. He still needs to pit again. 15 laps. His mediums are old. So he will have to stop again anyway. Maybe he will just wait one more lap to then finish the race on softs. And ahead, here we see Lewis Hamilton, Mercedes internal duel. Hamilton cruised by Super Stee, and oh, have a look. Lewis Hamilton and Fatih are the only drivers left without a penalty. So as soon as all the pit stops and tire strategy is through, I will depict the penalty situation until the end of the race. Will not take long anymore. Yeah, and I hope I will not jinx it. I have to admit that I'm really sighing in relief that we only had one early safety car phase, because I have seen some weird sessions lately with tons of safety car phases that were actually for nothing, as there was no DNF. And here we see Sotsanpat overtaking Jarne van der Briel. Sotsanpat on his fresh softs, just ahead of Van der Briel, who is running on used hards. I mentioned it earlier. I suppose that Van der Briel will try to run through on this set of tires, so he knows he may not battle too hard to make them last as long as possible. So who is the last who needs a pit stop? Last one will probably be Bro Give Up. Here he is in his P12 with his damaged nose. He's running wide here as a result of the lacking front downforce. Yeah, he should pit soon before he will get some more penalties and lose even more time. Lewis Hamilton now with the new fast lap of the race, while Grimo is attacking and eventually overtaking Bro Give Up. Does the bro pit here? Yes, now he finally does. Finally he does. After losing a lot of positions, he finally has pitted. He will not be last, but somewhere in the back makeup places. Here is Nat Craig near of Andrew Mont. He will probably try to attack him at the end of the DRS zone. Yes, he will. Faster tire. Woohoo! Almost lost his car when attacking him, but Andrew Mont is still there. No, he is not. He is not. Nate Craig was able to brake a lot later on his fresh softs. And Puppy committed another mistake, therefore losing his position to Blake Gary. So I think we should be through on pit stop strategy. Maybe Jarne Van der Breggen will pit again, but I doubt that he will. So for the rest of the race we will have a look at our penalty situation. We see Andrew Mont. He's the high scorer with 18 seconds of penalties. 21 now. Yeah, 21 now. So he's inching closer to be disqualified. The next one is Sam Wise with plus 17, who has very silently been crawling up into 6th position. Not bad, not bad. While we see Fatih being close to Pim and even attacking here in the DS zone. And yes, attacking him, overtaking him, and he will stay ahead on his fresher and faster red tire. Let's see if he and or Lewis Hamilton will be able to stay penalty free in this race. There will be a lot of up and down in the end, ranking up, ranking down as soon as penalties are applied. Johnny Cox in the lead will very easily stay there, I would like to say, as he has 5 seconds of penalty less than Turambar. So even if Turambar is more or less the fastest driver right now and faster than Tony Cox, he needs to overtake him and then get away of him by 5 seconds. I doubt that this will happen. But the big question is about who is gonna be second and third, because as things stand right now, if Fatih does not get a penalty, Fatih will be ranked ahead of Turambar in the end. And the next question is if Turambar will even stay on the podium, because Pim with his +3 is close to Turambar virtually at the moment. So there's actually no attacking action going on, as we didn't have a safety car for a long time. The field is stretched away from each other quite a lot. But that's okay, that's totally okay. That speaks for the quality of our league, of our Redline racing community. And Puppy, the next penalty that came in. So at the moment maybe let's stay with Johnny Cox. We haven't had the possibility to have him in the TV broadcast a lot, as I always focus the camera to where the most action is going on. And yeah, he had a very silent race, but a clean race and a good race, I would like to say. He won the start against Turambar, and even though Turam is the faster one in general, you see the penalty situation. So Turambar in the end, Johnny Cox in the end will be the deserved winner if he doesn't throw it away in the last 5 laps. And we have one racer in attacking mode, that is Grimo. We are right at the perfect moment coming to him. when he cruises by the puppy and is granted P11 with that. We can see Puppy is one of the controller drivers. Tons of respect for controller drivers trying to compete with wheel drivers, and Grimo just ahead of him crashed. Grimo, oh no. Threw it away on the acceleration out of turn 7 and needs to go wide here due to the damaged front downforce. He will need a new nose. Let's have a look how evil his damage is. Oh yeah, that's missing a lot. On the right hand side, lot of winglets missing. So the final pit stop of the race will not be done by Jarn de Mandibril, it will be done by Grimo. I mean, in case there's no one crashing in the last three laps then. So let's stay with him for a moment. Oh no, we will not. We will watch Sam Wise being... no, not in a battle with Satsan Pats, but those two guys are close. He needed to run wide here. He is plus 3 seconds on penalties anyway. So... ah, by the way, Pim committed another mistake. Plus 6 seconds now for him. So Turamba should be rather safe on the podium. Who's our penalty leader? That's Andrew Mann at the moment, plus 24. Yeah, no chance for Samwise to stay close to Satsan Patti here. No attack possible for him. Grimo, by the way, after his pit stop was ranked back to 14th. So let's have a look at our leaders again. This is Fatih in 3rd, but very likely to be ranked up to 2nd. And if he can make this pace last a few more laps. Have a look at that. Fatih might even be in the discussion for the race win. He is 5.2 seconds behind Johnny Cox. Penalty free, while Cox has a plus 3. That means if Fatih can get the gap under the plus 3 second mark, he would be the winner all of a sudden. But right now it does not seem like he is able to push the gap. No, very stable at around 5.3 seconds the gap for him, so he is not gaining on Cox. So that's, yeah, was just a neat little theory of mine. But no realistic scenario as it seems like right now. But it's just one mistake, just one little mistake from Johnny Cox. Either losing his car on an acceleration point for a moment, or shortcutting another turn and getting another penalty, and all of a sudden the world looks different. And therefore, I would like to say we will stay with our leader Johnny Cox here in the last 1.5 laps. He was able to watch the car of Turamba becoming bigger and bigger in his rear view mirror, but he is aware of the penalty situation, of course. He knows he just needs to stay on the racing line, needs to take the turns cleanly, and everything is fine for him. But I'm not sure if he is aware that he would lose his lead if he commits a mistake to Fatih. I'm not sure if he's aware of that. So the last lap and the big, ooh, another +3 for Turambar. So we will have to watch if he might still be on the podium then. Last lap, we will stay with Johnny Cox here as there is more or less no one in attacking mode somewhere. We will stay with the Cox and watch if he can be tidy enough to just stay where he is in the table. He will lap Netcrack here, that works very easily. Therefore he was granted DRS. But all that is no topic anymore for the rest of this race. Now he has 3 turns left. He needs to take all those turns tidily and everything will be fine for him. It looks good for him. It looks very good for the Cox. 1 turn left for him. And there it is, Johnny Cox, back-to-back wins. Congratulations for the #1 Ferrari. And second position is the other Ferrari. Double victory for Ferrari. Congratulations to Fatih Turambar, ranked back into P3. Fourth will be Lewis Hamilton. Pim in 5, good race for our reserve man. Zotsan Pat will probably finish in 6th as Samwise behind him has even more penalties. Here's the last turn for him and he is finished likewise. Zotsan Pat, congratulations to P6 and a big load of points, likewise to Samwise in 7th. Jarne van de Bril, no, Van de Bril is in 7. Van de Bril jumped ahead due to penalties over Samwise. Super Steve then in 9. Gary and Puppy will finish in 10 and 11. They have equal amounts of penalties, so nothing will change there anymore. There is 10th spot for Gary, and the last one to see the checkered flag is this man in the Racing Point, Puppy, who was sliding so much in this race but still defended a good P11. Congratulations to him, of course. Zotsan Pat is ruled the driver of the day. And here's the podium, dominated by the color of red. And a lot of red colored champagne for the Ferrari hats and overalls. And here is the final result after penalties. Johnny Cox has won the 2nd race in a row, right in front of Fatih. In 3rd then Turambar, 4th Lewis Hamilton, 5 Pim. 6 goes to Zotsan Pat, 7 Jarne van de Bril, P8 Samwise, 9 Super Steve, 10 Blake Gary, P11 the Puppy, P12 Netcrack, P13 Bro give up, he did not give up. P14 Grimo, 15 Andrew Mon, P16 Tirash, 17 did not finish, Ninja Penguino, likewise to Culturl, and the Big Mac, Big Mucker by the name of Ant McNally. So the RRC will continue next Monday around about 7:45, 7:50 approximately. The stream will go online on my channel. I hope you will be with us again when we turn to Hanoi. This will be one Havoc Festival, the probably most hated track from online racers, and we will head right there next Monday. Thanks for being with us. Have a good evening. I hope you enjoyed this race just as much as I did, and keep racing.